Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And that's why we're excited to be talking about Project Transformation Tennessee. We're honored to have with us Carrie Yoder, Executive Director. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Very well. When you talk about how you do what you do, it's a very creative model. I'm excited to dive in, and obviously the transformation for our youth, our young professionals and college students, the churches, the community. There's a lot to talk about, but let's start. Give us a little background, a little history for Project Transformation Tennessee.
Project Transformation Tennessee is a part of a national organization that started in the 1990s in Dallas, Texas, and is still running. We are an organization that planted here in 2011 and have been serving the state of Tennessee for what we count our time by we have done 13 summers, and we're starting our 14th this year. And so that's a bit of our history, and we are started in Nashville and then have expanded our reach over the years that we have been working here.
Talk about the model. Let's go ahead and dive in because I think it's creative, it's unique, it's serves on a lot of layers and higher purposes. So go ahead and dive into the model.
Yeah, so Project Transformation has a unique and what I call intentional and distinctive model. And so many people know us for our impact with children, and that is definitely a part of our impact. But what we like to say is that we are in the business, we have 3 C's. So our work does revolve around children and their needs for bridging the gap between school years, so avoiding the summer slide when it focuses on their literacy and social emotional health. Our second C has to do with our college students. Anybody who has been 19 to 26 years old knows that you are going through a lot of life changes, trying to figure out what your impact in the world will be. Project Transformation comes alongside them, hires them, houses them, and empowers them to work in our summer camps and introduces them to other nonprofit and ministry leaders to help them in their own vocational discernment. And then our third C is our churches and community members. We believe that yes, churches, community members are a workforce who can volunteer and give back to their community. That is a part of the work, but they also struggle to know who exactly their own neighbors are. So we seek to help facilitate relationships in our local communities. And we believe by each addressing those 3 areas of need for the children, college-age young adults, and our churches and community members, when we address each of those needs individually, but bring them together in purposeful relationships, that's where community transformation comes.
Yeah, and I think for the viewers and listeners, when you think about it in the context, okay, using the churches to bring the community in, to serve the children, to make sure, like you said, the summer slide, isn't there, that they're able to focus on literacy, the social emotional growth, and all those opportunities. Then leveraging the young professionals, the college students who are looking for what is my purpose, what is my career path, giving them opportunities to serve and to see and widen their, network, so to speak, the opportunities that are out there. And then also, too, layering on top, okay, we're building community, we're building opportunities, we're thriving together in this ecosystem that's accelerating together. And I think there's just a lot of really cool nuances that go together to create a very large impact and ripple impact in the community. Share a little bit of, the timing, the recruitment, because it's a lot of logistics, too, to do what you do.
Yeah, so our system, because it is complex, as you mentioned, across many different populations, takes a whole lot of people working together in communities across the state. And so for our children, our local churches and our boots on the ground people are already recruiting and registering kids for our summer camp. Summer camp starts on June 3rd this year and goes through June and July and is for rising first through eighth graders. And so we are looking for more students constantly. We start that process. Actually, it's a year-round process of building relationships with principals and guidance counselors and our families. And then recruitment for young adults also begins back in October. In September, we began. It even began last summer as we planted the seed for those young adults who really got a lot out of the process and gave back well to think about coming back this upcoming summer. And so we are in the process of hiring and interviewing and doing all of the appropriate checks that we do with that. So that takes building relationships with colleges and universities and other organizations that work with kids. And then for our churches, our goal is to build mutually beneficial relationships. So my team and our advisory council and board teams are constant relationships with our partner churches, seeking to help serve their needs and also recruit them to serve in their local community. So it is a year-long process of preparing for a summer camp that lasts 8 weeks. And so we're in the thick of that for sure.
Yeah, I think that, to your point, like 8 weeks, but it's a year-round deal, especially with all the different recruitment efforts and all the logistics in each different area. And so talk about the summer camp. So for the youth, for the children, what does summer camp look like?
Summer camp is a great fun time. It is Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3 for 8 weeks. Like I said, all of June and then the 4 weeks in July. And kids come in and they join with their young adults at their local church site. They eat breakfast provided by a local another nonprofit. And they participate in what we call a morning meeting where you can say, how are you? What's going on? What are we going to do today? And then they go through a rotation style. So in the morning rotation, they go through movement minutes where they're moving their bodies and they're talking about that. They go through young artists where they're using their creativity and empowering their minds through the creative arts. And then the most interfacing one with our volunteers is our reading time. So every child reads every day for 40 minutes one-on-one with a volunteer in the pews of our sanctuaries. And so that's all done in the morning. Then they go to their lunchtime. And then after that, they go into another rotation series. Led by our young adults, they do afternoon literacy, focusing on curriculum books that deal with deep topics that are affecting every kid and their development as human beings. They do, of course, some free play through recess and then some more afternoon adventures. And so a lot of times based on their age, like our middle schoolers really get to help define what do they want to learn? What books do they want to read? And of course, it's guided by our staff and our young adults. But it is a full program that ends at 3:00. And so kids get a full day program, 2 meals a day, interaction with local people, building relationships with young adults, with other kids in their community. It's a good resource for parents who are always looking for care for their kids in the summer. And so it's just, there's so much more we could say about that, but those are the big highlights of what we do at summer camp.
Yeah, and it's a turnkey solution for the churches to be able to then give back and make a difference right there in their community as well. So I think that's a piece of this too. Carry that into for the college students, the young professionals. Talk about kind of what you look for there, what they need to know, and also too, are they staying local in their community? Are they going to other communities? Talk about their experience.
So we hire college students from anywhere, and they come to Nashville for training, and we empower them with the skills that they'll need to run summer camp. And then we send them out. So we are in 4 communities across Tennessee. We do 2 camps in Nashville, 1 in Smyrna, 1 in Murfreesboro, 1 in Clarksville, and 1 in Memphis. And so we send them out to these camps and they live in those local communities. So we provide for them leadership training in conflict management, time management, building the skills of what does it mean to live with people we don't know, and then to run a summer camp, which many of them have never done before. So we provide, like I said, their stipend, their housing, and most of their meals for the time that they're with us. And so we want that to be equitable and that they're paid well. And that's really important to us because what college student doesn't need the income and the housing for most of them? So we are looking for college students or young adults between the ages of 19 and 26 who are seeking to grow in their understanding of what they're called to. Our most successful interns are ones who come with open minds, who come really ready to work. Yes, will be working with kids, so at least wanting to be open to having children in your life. We hire a lot of education majors, a lot of social work majors, but that's not it. That's not all of them. We hire so many different kinds of people because the real requirement for a young adult is willingness and openness for the process. There is a spiritual formation component, a part of our process too, though that is a very open form of spiritual formation, and that we want to help people empower and grow in their spiritual lives, not to think exactly like we do. And so that is a part of it. And we say that openly, that if that's not something that a young adult wants to do, that's okay. But that is part of our program. And so those are really the key pieces for young adults to know, that we do have a lot of fun, that we do work really hard, but that we're here to support them along the way. And we don't just throw them in and say, good luck. We train them and support them throughout the process.
Give us some feedback, and it can be from all three of the different groups. It can be from the parents of the children served through the summer camp. It can be from the college students, the young professionals. It can also be obviously from the churches. So talk about the feedback you get from this program.
It amazes me the feedback we get. As a parent, I have put my kids in the program last year. And I can tell you, as a parent whose son struggles with his sometimes social emotional health, he thrived. He has built relationships with that local community and with friends. And I'm not the only parent saying that. We have parents who come to us who said, this program not only provides them a space to be safe and a space to use their imagination, but it ignites their imagination for growth in their lives. And they see their kids coming out of their shell in a way that our school system, though it is amazing, is not always adept at doing because of all of the things that the school system has to do. And that's a good thing. Our young adults come back, it takes a couple of months because once they leave the summer, they're exhausted, they're tired. But every year, after about October, November, January, depending on who the young adult is, we get a phone call or a text message. I didn't understand it then, but Project Transformation changed my life. It opened doors of opportunities that I never thought I could imagine. Many of them will say, you know what, I never thought I wanted to work with kids, and now I see opportunities in front of me that I never thought were possible. And those are some of the feedback on our church members. They say, I didn't know these people lived in my neighborhood, and now I have a new friend. And so we hear those stories all day long, which keeps us going and keeps us doing this work, because our goal is community transformation, and we see that happening every day.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about it throughout, but go ahead and dive into how can the community help your efforts?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways. One, if you know a child who is really needing a place to be this summer, you can send them to our website and they can enroll in summer camp, and we will take those registrations until our sites are full. The requirements for a kid, we do target because our camp is free. There's a small registration fee that's easily waived, but our camps are free and open for any student who really seeks to support their literacy and their social emotional health. So kids, send us your kids. If you know a young adult who's looking for an internship and they're nervous or they're concerned or they're frustrated or they're open and excited and they just haven't found the right one, we want to talk to them. We do provide a really solid internship and experience for young adults, and we are seeking to connect with more and more every day. And we will hire until we're full, which we are. We have a lot more applicants this year, and that's very exciting. And then for our churches, if you're looking for a way to give back, our volunteer opportunities are very simple. One, you can read one-on-one with the child. You can do it one day in the summer, 2 days in the summer, 1 week in the summer. You can connect us with your local church or your corporation. We have many corporations who are volunteering with us. Or if you're like, kids are not my thing. That's true. Not everybody loves kids and feels that that is their calling. One thing that our volunteers do is they make meals and they sit with our young adults and they mentor them in the evenings. If that's your kind of cup of tea, we would welcome that as well. And then if you're like, you know what, I don't even live in this state, but I somehow heard this program and I want to give back. We are a nonprofit organization. Both, yes, could accept funding and would welcome that, but also we have a wish list filled with curriculum, books, and program supplies that is posted on our website for both our West Tennessee communities and our Middle Tennessee communities. All of that helps us continue to do this work well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, go ahead and mention website, social media. Where do we go to learn more and connect in?
projecttransformation.org/Tennessee will get you to every page you ever want to know. We are obviously have a website, Facebook, Instagram, and our TikTok page is doing fun things with new trends. So I encourage you to check that out as well. Project Transformation Tennessee.
So projecttransformation.org/Tennessee, easy place to learn more and get connected with Project Transformation Tennessee. Carrie, thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for all the good that you are doing through the City Current Show and all of the corporations and businesses that you work with. We're really excited to be connected and partnering with you.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.